So let's add a view, or we do have the view, but let's add some logic in that view. And for this, I'll take the code from one of my other simple views like orders, EJS, and paste it in there so that I got the head and also my navigation and so on. Now, in here, I don't want to output nothing there, of course. Instead, here, I want to output my product information, so my product detail. For this, I will quickly give this main element here a class of centered and fine-tune my CSS code real quick. In the main CSS file, let's simply add a class. You can add it anywhere. I'll add it relatively at the top, centered, where I set text align to center for now, so that everything is centered horizontally. Now in there, I'll output my h1 tag, and there I expect to get information about the product we loaded. So here I want to get some product and output the title. Now, right now we're not rendering this view and we're not passing the data into it, but eventually we will. So here's my title, then maybe render a horizontal line, and then let's display an image for this product because we got an image, right? So I will add a div here, and in this div an image, and there I will output product image URL. That is the field in which we're storing the image. Check your model in case you're not sure. And as an alt text, I'll output product title. Now below the image, I want to output h2 tag where I output my product price like this. And beneath that, a paragraph with my product description, just like this. So that is my detail page there. And if we now save this, we have to make sure that we render this view for our detail route. So in our controller, where we do get this single product data, instead of redirecting here, I'll remove that. And instead of logging this to the console, I'll say res render. And I want to render my view in the shop folder. And there it's the product-detail view. So basically the file name here, product detail. And we have to pass in some information. We do that by passing a JavaScript object. And in there, we now need to pass in a product property because we're accessing this here in the view. So back in our shop.js file, let's pass in product and set this equal to our product we're retrieving here. So product on the right side of the colon is the product we're retrieving. Product on the left side is simply the key by which we'll be able to access it in the view. With that, let's save that and go back to products and load the details here. And we get an error that we're missing the page title, showing us which line is throwing the error. And it also tells us page title is not defined. And this makes sense because in the head of each page, we're outputting the page title here. So we also have to pass that into our view. So in shop.js here, let's make sure we don't just pass the product, but also the page title. And here we can actually use product title to dynamically set the page title to the title of the product. With that, simply reload this page. I'm also missing the path now because in the navigation, we're using that to determine which path is active. And now there the question is, which path do we want to highlight? In a navigation file here, we obviously have no path, no link to this exact product. But I think it makes sense to highlight the products link here because we're still in the products area, just in the detail for a single product. If we want to highlight this, the path we should pass is /products because that is the path we're checking here. So in shop.js file, I'll set path to /products here because this is the path for which I want to mark the navigation item as active. Now if we reload, this looks better. And now here, this doesn't look too shabby. We got a nice detail page here. That's the trick for now. Let's maybe finish it up by adding a add to cart button below the product. But with that, I'd say this is what we need for the moment. So let's go back to our product detail EJS file. And below all that information, I will now add a little form, which leads to cart with a post request because I want to add that product. And I'll add a button with class button and type submit. And the route for this is missing still, where I say add to cart. And now with that, if we reload, we got that button here too. So this is now working, and this is looking decent. With that, I'd say, why don't we work on that add to cart functionality as a next step?